I pretty much spent most of my 20s never listening to the sound of my own voice. I don't even think I recognized what my voice sounded like. Hello, bunch. It's actually evening out here. I don't even know why I said bunch, but like, hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today is, what's today? Saturday. I just got back from a 13-kilometer hike. That's about a 4-hour hike. And then I tell you, I was the most energized as I've ever felt in my life. I think this is my first time I ever hiked 13 kilometers. Oh no, actually. I hiked up the Grouse Mountain a couple years back and I was much younger and more energetic. So I don't know how many kilometers that is, but this is like my longest hike post my mountain hike. Look, I did hike in Colombia as well. Okay, scratch that. So anyway, this year I have been doing a lot of outdoorsy stuff. When I tell you I am life maxing, guys, not how everybody's like looks maxing and job maxing or whatever. Me, I am life maxing. So this year I really wanted to be very outdoors, like be around and be seen. So I literally have a hike pretty much every week. Today was the longest hike I've ever done since joining the hiking group since July. And it was amazing. It was amazing. If you ever feel like you're in a rut, I promise you, like just go out there and be in nature and go for a walk. And 2 weeks ago, I was at a cabin. Only just arrived and I want to live here forever. Like, it's such an intentionally built place. And the great part is the owner that has the Airbnb built every single cabin, every single item by hand. Like, he literally like lived in Toronto for like years. And his babe was like, I'm moving to the island. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And now he's living sustainably. Like the water is from the lake, the water we used to shower, but we do have to buy our own drinking water because it might not be the safest to drink. Toilet is compost toilet. This is just the toilet lid, but there is a bucket under here. Yeah, see? It's just a bucket. When it's full, you get some wood chips from here. 2 for when you take the number 2 and 1 for when it's the number 1, and that becomes manure. Isn't that just so cool and sustainable? The shower is an outdoor shower. It does get quite cold. If there's anything I could change, it would be the cold showers, because yesterday evening it was freezing. I was literally like, ugh. Washing station, but it's also a bucket. It's an off-grid cabin, so like my phone is literally not working. All I have access to is like messages and phone calls. Any other thing doesn't load. YouTube, podcast, nothing else loads. So it's literally just you and your thoughts. There were a couple mornings where I woke up and all I did was literally just be silent. And obviously you're outside, so there's always going to be like the wondrous sounds of like birds and squirrels and, you know, just nature and wildlife jumping all over the place. But it was always peaceful. There wasn't like any chatter in my head or the chatter of other people, of like social media, of consuming other people's lives. And what I realized in my aloneness and in my mindful state was that I pretty much spent most of my 20s never listening to the sound of my own voice. I don't even think I recognized what my voice sounded like. The first half of my 20s, I was constantly plugged in. I was constantly on the phone, constantly listening to a podcast or to some music. Like if I'm on the train, I have my headphones on. If I'm going to the shop, I have my headphones on. If I'm at home washing the dishes, I have my headphones on, consuming the lives of other people. And I think that's because a part of me was unwilling or unready to like listen to myself. I was very scared of what I would tell myself or actually like face my reality, like be honest about my life. So it was very easy for me to escape into the world that other people have created. And I know I love being alone, but even though I'm alone, I'm not really alone because I'm not alone with myself. I am alone physically, but the chatter of others is just literally always there. And I think, again, it's just the fear of like just being with me and discovering me. And I'm like, I'm not ready to like face her, you know? Because I also like really didn't like my job. And work consumed like most of our lives. Every time I come home, I just wanted to be numb. Literally give me an IV drip and I was like, like the entire time. Like, I don't want to think, I don't want to talk, I just want to zone out. And I did that by just pure rubbishness. And when I started to see that a lot of people I was consuming were starting to be very successful, I'm like, what are you doing with your life? So this voice or this chatter switched from external noise to internal noise. So now the noise or the voice inside me was criticism and meanness. I was quite mean to myself. like my internal dialogue was not very nice. It was just constant chatter and constant regret of like what I should have done, what I wasted my time doing. And then if I wasn't feeling regret about the past, I was feeling anxious about the future and what my future was going to look like. I honestly think if I sat down to actually be in silence and in mindfulness, I would have come into my own a lot quicker. I would have been less insecure. I would have been more self-loving and self-accepting. I just didn't know what I wanted.
Easiest way is to try to make like a little teepee structure. So if you put a little bit of this, I just set up like a kind of stand up on each other like this. Because fire likes to climb, right? So by making the teepee structure, it's always almost guaranteeing it's going to work.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Once it's going, by just adding more wood, if we could do it right now, just kind of put more pieces on. So then, once the little ones will fall down, and then just add one
more of the log.
Yeah, and then once it starts getting low, just add another.
When did all this change? I think there were two prime moments in my life when I noticed that I could do without headphones. I think one, I was traveling and I lost my headphones. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not that bad. Sitting with myself is not that bad. And another time was when I read the book Crime and Punishment. I read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. And I remember after consuming it, I just sat with my emotion for a good while, just pondering and thinking about empathy and how I felt for this character, this protagonist, after committing such a heinous crime, like how much compassion and humanity I felt within me. And I remember like I went to the pharmacy a couple of days after reading the book, or maybe even a week after, I don't remember. But like I was literally in line, not with my phone, not with anything. And all I could think of was the humanity and the soul that was portrayed in that book. And I was just like playing the scenes in my mind. And I'm like, I really miss this. I really miss thoughts. I really miss thinking. I really miss introspection, just pondering and just being, just like waiting in line and just being in my head, or walking around and just being in my head. 1, 2, 3. Hey. It's so loud. When do we have moments of complete, I'm okay, I'm content, this is my period of rest, and this is my period of being with myself and my thoughts? When? Right? And so if we are not intentional about like crafting more, even just minutes of just breath work, of just like mindfulness, of just like being present, because if you're not intentional about crafting that space or that scenery, you're going to lose it. You're going to literally forget what your voice sounds like. And we feel there's so much stress and anxiety about like not having enough or not being enough or not doing enough. It's never going to be enough. But the moment we just take a step back for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever how long you have in your day, to just dedicate that this moment is just for me. Like I know the perils of life or the priorities of life can get busy, especially when you now compound like kids and jobs and partners and family and health. And I know, right? But if we say this moment, be it 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever how long you can dedicate is my moment, and just pay attention to my breath, to the fact that I am alive today. Because sometimes I honestly think we take it for granted that we're alive today. Like when I start to complain about life, I'll be like, Chisom, do you know the chances or the odds of like your ancestors meeting and actually fighting to be alive or wanting to be alive? Like from whatever how old this earth is. When I think about that in perspective of just how big and wondrous and wonderful the universe is, I tend to be like a lot more appreciative about like my life. When you're watching other people's lives, you start to focus on things that you don't have, or what you could be, or how you could live. All the attractions, the gold and the diamonds and the silvers, you start to like watch them and see them and envy them or compare. I've been very, very cautious the last couple years with what I'm listening to and what I'm watching, right? Does it make me feel good? Does it make me happy? What is my thought process when I consume a content? What is my emotion when I consume it? Am I angry? Am I envious? Am I jealous? The mind is a very precious thing. So whatever you feed it, whether you feed it toxicity or you feed it jealousy or you ruminate on hate, whatever you water is going to flourish. Does he have the thing? I told you. How much? 1 liter, $25. Ooh, that's actually quite big. When you practice like silence and mindfulness, you ask yourself like the deeper questions to life. What am I meant to be doing in this life? Why am I put on earth? Right? Not just philosophical questions. That is questions that are required to bring you peace and to bring you joy. And even if you never quite figure it out because maybe you're constantly changing what your purpose is, the fact that you're going through that question or through that narrative in your mind releases a certain sense of like joy, keeps widening that path of like self-discovery, right? I don't think you ever really find yourself, but the fact that you're constantly contemplating your space in the world or your aliveness in the world or your purpose in the world genuinely makes you a more rounded, a more whole, a more happy person. If you can find an answer to that, and it's an answer that's bigger than you, an answer that actually is to help Earth and humanity or like nature, big ups to you. But if you never find that answer, that's also fine. But the act of contemplation is what is just needed. And I highly think you usually would find something, even if the answer is just for the time being. And every time I speak to people that haven't quite discovered it yet, and I'm like, it's because you haven't sat with yourself. You're distracted by the chatter of others. You're distracted by the chatter in your mind or in your external. So if you do the 5 minutes of silence, the 5 minutes of breath work, the 5 minutes of mindfulness, those answers will come to you naturally. It will be like a bird just like sailing in the sky. It will be like, oh, I don't know where that drops in my head. I don't know how that came to be, but somehow I was walking down the street and the answer of life was revealed to me. Like the fact I'm making this video, guys. I was incredibly shy growing up. So that will be a topic for another day. But the more I've gotten to a point where I'm just like very okay with being with me, with kindness, you know. Yeah, you do have your off days, but mostly with kind, gentle words. The more I am more confident in my self-expression, the more I'm more confident in my sense of self. And that's how I navigate the world. This is the kitchen area. I've got some tomatoes. I'm gonna make some stewed eggs, just a quick one, and some croissants, and get that going, and we're gonna go eat and start our day. And when we've done all this like deep work and this deep reflection, I also want you to pay attention to the chatter of your friends and of your family members. Those voices, that collective consciousness matters. Are you surrounded by toxic people? Because if you're only surrounded by people that are greedy or like jealous or like say really negative things about other people, you know, just generally mean, harsh, that's who you are. But if you surround yourself with people, oh, the light is going down, I'm sorry, but like, I just wanted to get this video out because I be procrastinating a lot. So, but if you surround yourself with like toxic individuals, like what are you gonna fruit? Toxic, rubbish fruit. I keep making analogies to fruit, but if you surround yourself with like loving, kind, gentle, successful, not like financially or materially successful, but like genuine, like joyful people that have found their purpose on earth, what do you think you are? Other people's behaviors also affect you. Other people's words affect you. So you can do all the deep work, you can do all the self-reflection, the soul searching. If your environment and the people in your environment doesn't change, like what are you expecting? So I remember my friend, I should actually message him because we've been agents. We were actually co-workers, but he was such a lovely guy. He was telling me a story about how he went to a cabin with his family members and he just felt so weighed down by life. He didn't like his job. He was working as a mail person, like the mailroom assistant, and he was real deep into his 30s, almost pushing 40. And so even though his individual consciousness was that of harshness and just being very critical of himself, and he was a wonderful photographer. He was so artistically inclined. He loved the art, he loved photography, but circumstances of life made it not possible for him to profit off it, right? And live a life of creativity. And he went to a cabin trip with his mom and his girlfriend at the time. He may or may not have had some help with some rooms. And he literally looked down and he saw himself weighed down, like literally in chains, like chained to his chair. His individual consciousness said to him, you know, you could literally break these chains and run away from all your responsibilities. act selfish and in your own interests and forget everybody around you and just go live life however you want. Another voice said to him, or you could realize that the people here on this trip with you love you and care deeply about you and are here for you. It was the collective consciousness of the individuals around him that woke something deep within him. And when he came back from his trip, he looked around him and he saw his girlfriend and he saw his mom and his family, and he saw that he was surrounded by so much love, so much nurturing, so much kindness. And he was like, why would I want to lose all this? And basically he proposed to his girl. Proposed to his girl. And even though he was a room assistant, he was like, I could do more. And he applied to get like an underwriting job, and then from that he bought a house, and then from that he got a kid, and it was just like his life started to make sense once he had that moment with himself, once he realized that his garden, even though he wasn't nurturing it, the garden of his mind and his soul and his body, the people around him took care of him. It did take him some time to realize that, but eventually he realized it. Yeah, I think because the sun or the moon is out now and the sun's gone down, I should probably go back inside before the mosquitoes come bite me. But in summary, I just want to say, take a moment in your day to find the silence in you, to stop the chatter in you, especially if the chatter is unkind. Take 5 minutes and say, and what do you pay attention to? I know, like, okay, it's hard, I don't know what. Pay attention to your breath. Breathing in, I take in my in breath. Breathing out, I release my out breath. Breathing in, I take in my in breath. Breathing out, I release my out breath. Breathing in, I take in joy, peace, and love. Breathing out, I release anxiety and stress and discomfort. That's literally it. 5 minutes. And I promise you, your day or that moment or that 5 minutes is gonna be a whole lot better. Anyway, I'm gonna see you in my next video. I'm sorry that I didn't record this, but I just came back from a hike. And I'm like, I need to shoot this video, guys, because if I don't, I'll be 2 weeks without posting the video. And you know, your girl got monetized. So I need to be consistent because, guys, I need cash. I know I said all this, but I'm working part-time. Cost of living is expensive. I got to pay my rent. I got to pay my car insurance. I got to put gas in my car. I don't need too much. I just need enough just to feel like I'm safe. I'm safe. The roof over my head is safe. My food is safe. Things that I need in life, I just want enough to be able to get them and comfortably get them. And that's about it. And then until I'm there, subscribe to my channel and like and comment. But thank you so much for being with me. I don't know how long this video is going to be until I edit it. But until then, see you later, alligator. And bye.